Good Saturday. It is August 21st, and we have been seeing a lot of this lately. That hazy and smoky sky out there, barely being able to see the sunshine through it until maybe the afternoon hours if we get lucky. This was taken yesterday by me, actually, in Stanislaus County as I was driving through here, still seeing all that smoke and haze as of Friday. And we're going to continue to see a little bit more of that as we move through the weekend, though. Each day is expected to improve. Let's take a look at the Caldor fire right now. You can see a lot of areas that are burned, obviously, in that red zone, but here's some areas that are actually safe so far. We're looking at Somerset, Camino, Pollock Pines further north. These are zones that have been evacuated, but so far have not seen any fires just yet. Of course, those zones are not returning home just in case we do see some of the winds shift and some embers or sparks start creating spot fires closer to their homes. You want to make sure you're out of that area, not anywhere near the fire, even though your zone has not been caught up in all that blaze. Now, the biggest issue right now is this line further north. That is approaching, if you take a look here, Highway 50. That is Highway 50, and this line is pushing right up to it. They've been working with bulldozers to create a line so it tries not to jump over the freeway and catch another section. What we've been noticing with this, you notice the red hot spots here all pushing to the northeast line here, and we hope to at least see more containment with this fire and not actually seeing it closer to more homes. We're starting to see it at least push a little bit of away from homes. Kybers is in that area, as well as some other regions further north they're trying to stay away from. Lake Jenkinson, this one right here, they've been just able to contain it toward the east. So that has been good news so far. But of course, any kind of spot fire is possible. And these embers can fly as much as 10 to 15 miles away, landing, smoldering, and then creating a large fire before anyone can detect it. And that is the big fear, especially today, because we are looking at a red flag warning in effect for strong winds. And of course, we have fire danger and fire concerns because of the dry vegetation out there. Now, when it comes to the smoke and haze, we're still sitting with unhealthy to very unhealthy air, at least from the valley toward the foothill zones. If you get closer toward the Bay Area, that is unhealthy for sensitive group air quality. Although we're starting to teeter on a little bit of the unhealthy air further south along the coastline there toward Monterey as well. Now, around Sacramento, looking at that unhealthy air to very unhealthy air throughout the day. We will get a little bit of movement, but not much for today. Most of it coming tomorrow with more better air quality, although we are still getting some spots where we will see that very unhealthy air. Now, our future fire danger, I want to show you this map. These are zones where there's potential to see huge blazes just tear up zones. Areas mostly over into Nevada where you have very dry vegetation, and over the Sierra Crest here, because this is where we expect some of the strongest winds later on this afternoon and through about 8 p.m. or so. And there is a red flag warning in place for these zones as well. As we move into Sunday, that area starts to be much smaller. Take a look at that. See, the zone here starts to at least be a smaller zone through Reno and just further north into Nevada at 6 p.m. on Sunday. So the biggest fire danger looks like it's going to be today because the winds are going to be the strongest through today's afternoon, evening hours with the red flag warning in effect. And again, that's near mostly the Caldor fire because of the fire activity and it being able to really create its own weather conditions within the fire. Unhealthy air does continue, but a lot of that remains very unhealthy for the foothills and the Lake Tahoe area. The hazy sunshine does move through today. One more day of at least more of the hazy sunshine before becoming more sunny by the afternoon and more sunny into Sunday and Monday. But this is also bringing about cooler temperatures. So, hey, at least we get one plus out of this whole thing. With the fire weather again near the Caldor fire and the High Sierra areas, we are looking at an air quality warning in effect from Central California to about Bakersfield, and this is going to last for about a week or so. Let's look at our smoke forecast. We'll start to see some of the winds pushing through the Delta, the blue zone, much better air. Of course, the orange and the darker shades, not good. We see a little bit of a push, but it's not much as we get to about lunchtime. Then as we get to the evening hours and overnight, a much better air quality area here from San Francisco into Sacramento and areas of the lower foothills. And that's 8:30 a.m. on Sunday. But then we start to get much better air quality even for the High Sierra, although some zones right around Truckee, South Lake Tahoe do get very bad and very unhealthy air quality, especially right around toward the Caldor fire as well. They will get more of the clearing out happening, but this is also not good news necessarily because that also allows more of the wind to start pushing through as well. We're clearing out a little bit, but we're getting more wind. Then we'll get a lot more heat. So we're trading every day a new scenario in our weather conditions. One day we get things kind of calm and stable, but it's very hot, low visibility. The winds aren't shifting any of the smoke out, so firefighters get a better view. Then we'll have days where we're getting strong winds that are pushing through, and then it's just making the fire activity erratic. So spot fires start to appear. So every day has been a challenge. We will start to see things calming down in terms of wind as we move towards Sunday and especially through next week. So hopefully then we can get a better handle on these fires, especially the Caldor fire burning just there in the El Dorado National Forest, approaching 50. Now take a look at the winds. They are coming in out of the southwest, meaning they're going to push the winds up into the northeast. So the fire direction is northeast. And this is not going to be good news for today. Of course, that's going to start pushing more embers further north and stronger winds. Not a good sign. As we start moving in throughout the day, we'll get the stronger winds also pushing through the valley and areas right around San Francisco, getting some stronger winds. But take a look at how much of these arrows really start to pick up speed here, pushing through. So again, green there is about 20 miles per hour, anywhere from 10 to 20 as we start looking at the Sierra Crest. So we're praying for our firefighters that they're not going to be dealing with too much of this too much longer, as well as creating new spot fires. Now moving into Monday, this is where we start to see about 5-mile-per-hour winds. So really everything starts to slow down, except our temperatures. They start to increase. Here's currently what we're looking at atmospherically. The low pressure system begins to shift its way along with the jet stream, creating a trough. This trough here is going to bring us tiny bit cooler temperatures. We are already feeling that, and along with that haze and that smoke is really keeping temperatures moderate. This high pressure may or may not be your friend, just depending on how you look at it. It's going to expand. It's going to move over our area in about the next 3 to 5 days, creating intense heat. Each day increasing heat slowly from the 90s to triple digits by next weekend. Take a look at how huge that ridge is, that big, huge rainbow-looking thing over the Pacific. That will start to shift its way over the western U.S., including California, in the next few days. As it does so slowly, each day is going to encounter warmer temperatures. I'm talking back into the 90s, and then we'll start to feel those temperatures really heating up by the following weekend to those triple digits. This is what it's also going to do. 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. Looking at California, we see zones all the way from northern to southern California well above average temperatures for this time of year. For southern California, above average. For areas of central California and the northern, we start to see slightly to a little above average. Everything Pacific Northwest to the Dakotas looking normal for this time of year, but most of the country is going to be dealing with excessive heat over the next 6 to 10 day outlook. Lower foothills in the mid-80s, 78 in Angels Camp. We're also looking at those mid-70s for Truckee, South Lake Tahoe. Pollock Pines closer to about 80 degrees. Pollock Pines is going to also be covered in a lot of smoke today. So not only is it sort of cool, it's going to be very hard to breathe. Please be careful and limit your time and exposure outdoors if possible. Upper 70s as we move through the week with plenty of sunshine, although of course, we're still dealing with smoke and haze, so each day is going to be a little bit different, but as we move through the week, it should start improving. Mid-60s if you are headed to San Francisco for the weekend. We're looking at those 60s, 80 in Antioch, 85 for areas of the San Joaquin Valley, and then into Sacramento, we're also looking at mid to low 80s for Saturday. Sunday, mid-80s, and then here's the increase to each day as we move on. Monday, upper 80s to low 90s. Tuesday, mid-90s. Wednesday, Thursday, then back into those triple digits once again for the following weekend.